So Hillary Clinton is planning to unveil her new affordable college plan today. Now, what's in this plan? Well, it's a $350 billion program that would push the federal government to provide $175 billion in grants to states, guaranteeing that students would not be forced to take out loans for tuition at four-year public colleges and universities. It would also include refinancing options for about 25 million people with outstanding student loan debt, and this is according to different multiple reports. In return, states would have to spend more on higher education and also put in measures to try and slow the growth of tuition. Now, her plan adopts President Obama's proposal for 2 years of free community college, as well as allowing students with loans to refinance at these lower rates. So how do we pay for some of this? Well, Clinton is expected to propose paying for the plan by limiting tax deductions for the rich. Oh, that'll go over well in Congress. Now, as far as this plan goes, I think I've heard something somewhat similar from, Bernie Sanders and even Martin O'Malley. So I think everybody has her beat on her college plan, but nonetheless, there it is. There's some of the details of the plan. What do you think so far?
Well, here's the thing. I like the fact that it's being talked about. And I think this goes to speak. One thing I like about, well, there's many things I actually like, but one of the things I really like about Sanders is just the fact that he's here, regardless of where it goes. I mean, of course, I'm hoping he gets the nominee, but regardless, he's really steering the talking points these days over on the Democratic side. And I think that's awesome because people like his ideas. He's gotten to where he is because of his ideas, which is saying, A, we do have a chance to create a better system in this country, and B, everyone else is going to have to take note, and it's going to force Hillary or whoever else may have a chance at getting the nod. If he doesn't, they're going to have to start stepping up to those policies. And then if they do get elected, hopefully we hold their feet to the fire to enact them as well. So yeah, I think it's refreshing that she's talking about it. Of course, it's going to be a watered down, more playing the game situation than what we could expect from a Sanders. That goes without saying, because in many ways Clinton's a suit. But I'll take it. The fact that it's being talked about, I'll take it. Because once again, I'm pretty sure student loan debt wasn't even brought up at the GOP debate. I think that was another thing they didn't talk about. They were too busy about, do you listen to the imaginary voice in your head you recognize as a supreme being whenever you make decisions? It worked out great for GW, so are you going to do that too?
Also worked out great for Iraq.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But look, I think that I think Clinton's pandering. Let's be honest about this. You're right. She's
maybe, but it's good that they're forcing her to do that. I mean, that's the type of pandering I can live with. If you're going to pander in a way that's going to help people because it's policy the majority of Americans want, I'll take that. And then if you get in office,
a majority of Americans might want it, but I don't trust Clinton to deliver. That's the thing.
Yeah, but wouldn't you at least want someone in office that has that platform so you could try to hold them accountable instead of someone that's not even bringing it up? I mean, it's baby steps, Jeff.
Oh, well, okay. You're asking me to choose between a bowl of shit and a turd.
Not really. I mean,
no. I promise to help students.
I'm asking you to choose between a bowl of shit and some really stale cereal. And I don't know about you, but I'd take the cereal.
That's sad. That's sad. We shouldn't have to choose between two crappy things.
Maybe, but and this goes down to the bigger principle argument. I mean, and some people, they use that as justification to not vote or whatever else. And I'm not going to say that those people are necessarily wrong. I can understand the cynicism, but me personally, I'm not at that point yet where I feel like I'd be better off not participating at all.
I haven't say anything about not participating.
But that's what that type of logic leads towards. I mean, that's where that type of logic goes. Well, I shouldn't have to choose between this or that. And it's like, well, this is what you got.
No. That type of logic doesn't always lead to that conclusion. It actually could lead to, I don't like the choices that we have, so let's try and get some better choices in there. And that's
how do you do that? How do you do that?
You get involved in the system more. You get involved in the primary fights. You get involved in the debates. You get involved in politics at the local grassroots level. You get involved in political movements.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just wait for the parties to make a decision. Both parties work for Wall Street and the corporations.
Fair point.
They're
Fair
not.
point.
They're not representing us. They're not looking out for us. Student debt is at $1.2 trillion, and you've hardly seen anybody talk about it until somebody like Bernie Sanders forces that conversation. Right. And now forces Hillary Clinton 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, 2 months later, something like that, to finally address it. Because most of her platform, most of her plans, you have to wait till I'm president for me to unveil my plan.
Right.
You have to wait and see what I'm going to do after you elect me. That's bullshit.
It is. And Sanders is forcing her to not do that. And what I'm saying is that's a good thing.
I don't know. I guess I'm not inclined to completely agree with you or completely disagree with you. Fine, it's good that we're having a conversation, at least. I'll concede that. You
got to start there, man. And it's still early on, you know. I mean, you know, I'm not a huge Hillary fan either, but you know, I'm giving her my ear. I mean, I'm supporting Bernie, like I'm, you know, I'm behind Sanders, and that's who I want to see get it. But you know, if Hillary is the nominee, you know, I want to hear what she has to say, and I certainly would rather have her than anyone over at the GOP circus.
Fair enough.